Journal entry, May 2026. Something unusual happened. May 31st, 4 a.m. I woke up for no apparent reason. This is extremely unusual for me. I was not fully awake, but I was not fully asleep. I was unbelievably aware of my surroundings. The temperature of the room, the passing of a plane, the low hum of a fan, my breathing. Nothing else moved, otherwise silent. After a few minutes, I was fully awake. What was odd about that hour was not only the hour itself. Something in my being felt stuck. The best way I can describe it is a very light sense of gray, not quite facing the light, not quite facing the dark, suspended. I tried to say a prayer. I forgot the words. I tried to count backwards from 100 to put myself back to sleep. I tripped up on the first few numbers. I blanked my mind, only to revisit that suspended sense of gray. I wanted to call it something, but it was nothing. Yet it quivered, like it needed permission to become completely white or completely black, not moving an inch. I started to question, why is this happening? Am I stuck? Is something stuck in me? 20 other questions erupted. The answer was nothing. I got up at 6 a.m. as usual. I worked out, cleared my head, had something to drink, brushed my teeth, showered, went to church, came back, and my sister called. She said, today might be the day. She put the phone up to my dad's ear. I said everything that was pouring from my heart, and I ended up crying. The rest of the day was a blur. I didn't understand my low energy, especially after a workout, especially after church. I knew my dad wasn't well. Somewhere in the afternoon, I fell asleep again. And when I woke up, my phone was going off. My dad had died in his sleep almost immediately. In my mind, that gray suspended area, it shifted. And it sank to my gut. Within minutes, I felt hollow. I don't remember feeling my heartbeat or my breathing, just hollow. And I cried, sobbing. The hollow feeling lingered. Nearly every morning since, I'm awake again in the 4 o'clock hour, feeling suspended, going nowhere, waiting, completely uncertain of what it means. Not knowing what's next, not even wondering about its meaning, not even trying to define it, not asking God to help, not praying through it, not even intentionally breathing through it, just letting it rest, waiting for it to settle into something different. But it doesn't. The hollow feeling persists. And all I can think is that it's never going away. For a long time, I didn't have a word for what I described before my tribute. Not the grief, not the gray, the suspension, the way the day ran correctly, and the night ran on something else entirely. I had been doing it long before May 31st, 2026. The grief hadn't created the suspension. It had found it. I spent 20 years as a sleep clinician, helping other people sleep for a living. And I couldn't sleep. The sleeplessness predated the grief by years. The mechanism ran. I was competent, functional, available. I handed people the service they needed. And then the lights went out nightly for me. And there was no one to hand anything to of my own. I started calling it the Opathian State. It's not in any dictionary. It's not a diagnosis. It's a word built to name a very old experience and had never been given a sentence to live inside. From opos, what seeps from a living thing when it's cut. From opus, the daily work of appearing fine. From pathos, a disturbance of a vital process. It's not a breakdown, it's a rerouting. One who is seen to function, me, while carrying an internal disturbance of feeling. It's a defining feature of their life, my life. The Opathian isn't visibly falling apart. They are the calming presence in other people's crises, the one who organizes when something goes wrong, the one who's very reliable because they hold things together. It's less imaginable when it becomes that they might be the ones struggling. And so the interior becomes invisible, both to others and sometimes to themselves. I had been suspended in gray for a long time before May 31st, 2026. I was simply too busy functioning to notice it. Grief didn't break the structure, it illuminated it. Because when my dad died, the world kept its appointment with the future. The calls stopped, the emails stopped, the cards stopped. And what remained was something running, and a person inside it with nowhere to put that gray. I need to be honest with you. Sleep has not returned. Because losing my father didn't just bring grief through the door. It brought the Opathian State back with it. The same gray, the same suspension, the same quiver at 3 or 4 a.m. that needs permission to become something and won't. But now I can see for what it is. It's not a malfunction, a structure of some malevolence. It is a structure that is revisiting me, and it's asking to be known this time. Some of you in this room know exactly what I'm describing. Not because you've read about it or just heard it from me. Because you woke up at 4 a.m. this week and felt it. You got up, made the coffee, answered your emails, mail, any other communications, and said taking it one day at a time to someone who needed to hear it. And then you went home, and the house went quiet after all the goings on. And the gray was there, exactly where you left it. There's a word for what you're carrying, and someone in the room who is still carrying it too. And someone is in the room who is still carrying it too. The mechanism works, but the person inside it is another matter. What goes unsaid doesn't go away. What could be said could get you to sleep. Real sleep. Witness it. Don't fix it.